Mhm. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः। So we studied the outcomes of unselfishness. We understood that that was nothing but expanding the consciousness, which means expanding what you are conscious of. The whole bane of our existence is that we are conscious of so little. We don't seem to take everything into cognizance. It's a very odd thing how our focus gets so narrow that we don't seem to see the whole picture. That narrow focus is what Vedanta calls attachment. But you're only able to see a small part. You're not able to get a hang of the whole situation. So when we start expanding what we are conscious of, able to see more, automatically that attachment decreases and virtues grow. All virtues are nothing but this expansion. I mean, if you're not even aware of your room, how are you going to keep it clean? If you're not aware of the roads, you just see them as one giant waste bin. Whenever you have something to throw, you throw it. So all virtues are nothing but the expansion of this consciousness. When you say, the NGOs, they take you to whatever they're doing, old age or orphans or AIDS patients or the physically challenged, whatever they're working on, they take you there. They do what they call sensitization. What is the sensitization? Just becoming aware of what these people are going through. And the moment you as a human being become aware of it, your heart will go out to. We don't care. Suppose all of us, we took a trip and we went to Palestine. We would understand what is happening there. We will feel for them. Now we're like, okay, there's a big war in Palestine. And we don't get it. We don't get what those people must be going through. Suppose you went there, you lived there, you saw it. As a human being, your heart will go out. So all virtue is nothing but this expansion. Now, how should we expand our consciousness? How do we become aware of more things? The easiest, simplest way is right around me. Let me become more aware. And what should I become aware of? First, I must become aware of what happened to you all. I'm only summarizing last times. First thing to become aware of is
Family.
Family.
Last thing.
Huh?
Aware of the self.
Aware of the self is the last thing you become. What's the first thing you have to become aware of?
Your surrounding.
Sorry?
Your surrounding.
Okay. What in your surrounding? What?
Everything. Everything.
That is impossible, right? How will you become aware of everything in your surrounding? What happened to your so much? I thought we did that in such detail. And yet it's completely gone, wiped out. You all yourself told me. And now it's all gone. Gayab. 7 days of Surf Excel. Not a single person. Hey, Bhagwan.
Introversion.
Hmm?
The benevolence of nature, is it?
Of receipts.
Receipts.
Giving.
We made the list.
Yes, but forgot it immediately. Now I
Yes.
ask you,
Now,
what is the first thing we have to become aware of? What are we receiving?
yes.
When we become aware of what we are receiving, automatically our heart will bend its service in gratitude. Okay, clear? What are we trying to do? We're trying to become unselfish. Unselfish. Why? Because we studied the outcomes. I mean, that's not the reason you become unselfish, but that is the outcome. That is what will happen. So what is unselfishness coming from? It is coming from
An expansion in the consciousness or awareness.
very an expansion and consciousness. Very good. Now we are restricted in our consciousness. Very you see only a bit. Not able. Even you don't even read the room. You don't know what is going on. Very, very restricted consciousness. Now we want to expand our consciousness. What should we first try to become aware
Receipts.
of?
Yes.
What are we receiving? Once we start just becoming aware of that, how can you be aware of everything you're receiving and not feel gratitude? And if you do feel gratitude, automatically your arms will reach out in service. You're grateful. So that's why we try to sort of make our own list. What are we grateful for? What are these things that I have that I'm not even aware I'm getting? So this is a good place to start. This is a starting point. Because you can't say become aware. Become aware of what? What am I supposed to become aware of? Become aware of what you are receiving. Because from there, it's much easier to expand. That's your easiest route into expanding the consciousness. Okay, so far so good. Okay, let's go. Bharat.
So, taking a really a selfish person into account here, even if he manages to make a list of, let's say, 10 things that he is grateful of, uh, but invariably his mind will be on that one or two things which he does not have. So, would that gratitude be a lasting memory in his mind, or how would it go?
You have tricked me, Bharat. How can I say lasting? Between last Friday to this Friday, nobody remembered. So how can I say lasting? Trick question. He's trying to to trap me. But Bharat, I'm also a lawyer's daughter, so I will not get trapped. No, it will not be a lasting thing. Obviously, it will be a lasting thing when When will it be a lasting thing?
And the transformation has happened from selfish to
No,
unselfish.
no. Now we are still on we're trying to expand the consciousness, right? So you became aware of receipts. So you became conscious of more. You were not aware of your receipts. Now you're aware of them. You're conscious of more. But this will go away in some time. So the only way it will consistently keep up with if you
Morning study.
okay, that is the solution to all problems. If you keep on at it, to keep on at it, right? It's just like your gym. You can't go one day and accept biceps or triceps or whatever it is you get in the gym. You have to keep on at it, go on and on, remembering all the various things you're getting. And slowly you become, excuse me, slowly this consciousness keeps expanding. So it's not going to be immediate, but this is your entry point. And you keep on going in that, go in that. Don't just say, okay, I did it. No, it's not okay, I did it. Go on. And then you become aware of more and more receipts, more and more receipts. You may start with something at a very gross level. Yesterday, my friend brought me a present. That was very sweet of her. And start like that. By gross, I mean very obvious. And or yesterday, my husband took me out for dinner. I don't know, whatever. My son gave me a sari. I don't know, whatever. Start with something like that. And then slowly you begin to see just at every point how much you're receiving. At every second of your life, even if no human being gives you anything, you're still receiving. So you do this. It's an ongoing practice. It's not a once and time. Now, if you're very, very selfish, very, very, you'll be grateful. Oh, I won the lottery. I mean, you're not grateful. You say, okay, what did you receive? I won the lottery. Everything else in my life is terrible, but I won the lottery. So like that, you start one thing. Then after a few days, maybe you think of a second thing. Like that, it grows slowly. So it's not a one-time exercise. Okay, Bharat?
Yes, but for a selfish person, the intensity of what he's not received is way greater than the things that he is getting. So, not sure if he would be motivated to be on this path of being grateful.
Being motivated to be on this path of being grateful or service oriented is not what we are discussing now. We are discussing if a person wishes to improve, then this is the door. How will he wish to improve? In the last 10,000 years of Vedantic study, nobody has been able to answer that question. How do you make a person want to improve? That nowhere have I seen an answer to that. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. So there's no answer to that. But if you wish to, then this is the starting point.
Okay, thank you.
Where is Mahesh? Okay, Mahesh, let us continue. So let us, since everybody seems to have forgotten, let us start this paragraph again. How can we motivate ourselves to be unselfish and make ourselves serve? How do we convert this scoundrel mind of ours? It ensures from the recognition of what we are receiving. These are our debts. You were saying something? Okay. These are our debts. Pause for a moment. Mentally list what you are in receipt of. Now ask yourself, could I live without these things? Oxygen, sunshine, etc. People endure my faults. My parents kept me alive and flourishing when I was incapable. I live in a free economy. I get water without having to walk miles for it. And I assume my and my children's education as my basic right. How many of these things are things you never even think about? People endure my faults. We all know we have faults, and anybody around us has to put up with them, whether they like it or not. If I'm a hot tempered person, anybody transacting with me has to put up with it. If I'm a greedy person, whoever's transacting with me has to put up with it. If I'm a fault finding, pessimistic, whatever person, stubborn, rigid, people have to put up with it. And there's no option, bichare. What can they do? They put up with it. Now, am I not grateful that the whole world hasn't left me? I know my faults, or even if I don't know my faults, I know at least theoretically I must be having them. Many people don't think they are faults, but at least we all know that as human beings, none of us are perfect. So if I'm not perfect, you're putting up with my imperfections. Thank you. Thank you that you put up with me. It is something that if we learn to see this, immediately putting up with other people's faults doesn't become such a big deal. If you can put up with my faults, why can't I put up with your faults? I am such an irritating person, and you're putting up with me. Then you are such a bugging person. Why can't I put up with you? You see, the moment you expand what you're aware of, virtue comes in. Then imagine when you were a small child. You were so stupid, so helpless, so incapable, and somebody kept you alive. Isn't it? A human baby, no creature is born as stupid as a human being. The human baby is not capable of doing anything. A puppy, he's born, he'll make his way to the mother's teats and he will drink milk. A human baby is born. You do, get up and get milk if you want. Go find your mother and get milk. No, we'll sit there and do. We all did it. No exception. Everybody. Even when Vivekananda was born, he also did the same thing. All of us. So if you think you're very great, I didn't do that. No. Everybody did it. At least say politely, give me milk, please. That also. We were so stupid, so incapable, so incredibly self-centered. The child doesn't say ever, has any child said, oh, I am hungry, but it's the middle of the night and my poor parents have been slogging all day, let them sleep. Will any child say that? We were like that, so selfish, so self-centered. All we could see were my fingers and my toes. And our wonderful saint-like parents put up with us. Now they say stupid and irritating things to us. Why don't we put up with them? They put up with us when we were at our worst. Why can't we put up with them? They're at least not at their worst currently. So somebody took care of me as a baby. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here at all. Couldn't talk. Couldn't do anything. Isn't it? Expanding what we are aware of. Every single thing. And we cannot survive without them. Think about this. People don't put up with my faults. I'll be all alone. I won't be able to survive. If my parents had not looked after me as a baby, I would not be able to. So these are not nice things to have. My very existence has depended upon them. I live in a free economy. I spent 1 month coughing. However, the 9 months before that, no, what? 11, no? 11 months before that, I didn't cough. Those 11 months before that, did I ever think once, thank God, I'm not coughing? When I have a cough, I say, irritating cough. When I don't have a cough, don't care. No gratitude. Today, as I sit and talk to you, it's very irritating, both for you and for me, that I keep coughing. However, neither you nor I have a stomach ache. Does anybody in class have a stomach ache? How many of us say, thank God I don't have a stomach ache, or a toothache, or a earache? No, my knees are not hurting. My fingers are not hurting. Anybody's fingers are hurting? Mm-hmm. Are we saying thank God? We are only fixating on the thing which is hurting. Sarthak, can we participating in reading? Should we do it like that? Okay, we can do that. Thank you. The thing is that sometimes in the other books, you can read one para, but here sometimes you need a sort of in the middle of the para explanation. That's why I've been doing it like. Imagine if you had to walk for miles to get water. Imagine if your children's education was not taken for granted. Isn't it? All of us, we've taken it for granted that our children will be educated. But not everybody has that. Okay, so who will read the rest of the paragraph?
I can read.
Hmm.
From here, I get water. Okay, we receive things that our very survival depends on, and yet we are blissfully unaware. When we gain this awareness, gratitude fills our being towards that providence which constantly supplies and never sends bills and asks for no recompense. And in any case, how is it possible for us to repay? The very least we can do is send no further requisition slips. When I'm so dependent and so looked after, what right do I have to make further demands?
Amazing, no? When you think about it. I'm so dependent and I'm so looked after. But what do I want to do? Acha thoda or little more. I need this also, I need that. That's how it is in this world. Who will read the next para?
I'll do it. Incessantly, we receive the bounty of nature. When we appreciate this, we stand aghast at this phenomenon. In our most deprived state, we are receiving. When we are sobbing in sorrow, we are receiving. But we don't see it. We mourn the loss or crave the object, not realizing of how much we are concurrently beneficiaries. When our bodies are sobbing, air is being provided for those gasps. Tear ducts are releasing water. Everything is working even as we cry. Mother Nature is, as it were, cradling us in her arms, supporting us at all times silently in the background, which we scarce notice and much less acknowledge.
Isn't that true? Suppose you were crying and no tears came to your eyes. Suppose you were gasping for breath, but no air was provided. So while we're so unhappy and so miserable, we're still being taken care of, isn't it? Mother Nature holding us on her lap. We don't see it. We just can't see it. And when we start seeing it, our perception of life changes. The whole thing changes. Not just that you see that, everything changes. We'll read the next paragraph.
I'll read. Shall I?
Yes, please.
And the only reason we are crying over a particular issue is because everything else is fine. Think about a lady who cries because her husband forgot her birthday. The reason she cries about this is because she has a husband who is otherwise fulfilling his husbandly obligations, who is not suffering from a terminal illness, who is not drinking alcohol and beating her up. Because if any of these were an issue, she would not be complaining about this forgetfulness. She would be crying about those other things.
Isn't it? Every time we cry, it tells us what we have. Continue.
Don't our complaints tell us what is perfect with our lives? It's like an endless pyramid. The more things that go well, the more things we can find to complain about. It is like the fairy tale about the lost princess who knocked on the door of her palace and pleaded to spend the night. The queen took her in and allowed her for long some respite, but she wanted to test whether the girl was a princess. So the clever queen put a pea on the bed and covered it with many, many mattresses, soft and feathered. In the morning, she inquired of her mystery guest how she slept, how she had slept. Her guest said she couldn't sleep all night and was all bruised. There was something hard in her bed. The queen rejoiced to hear this, and the prince married the lovely princess. They knew she was a princess because only a princess could be so sensitive. The more we have, the more sensitive we are to lack.
You remember reading this story as a child? The princess came and then they put a pea and then she couldn't sleep. And when I read it then, and when you probably read it then, you probably thought, what a foolish story, right? And actually, what a deep allegorical or philosophical meaning it has. Only when you have so much can you be so sensitive to a lack. So I hope you'll get what that means, that the more you get, the more sensitive you'll become to what you don't. I have known, and I'm sure you have known, so many couples who look at them and you think, oh, they're perfectly matched, and they've gotten a divorce. Have you experienced that? Couples where you think, oh, they're very well matched, but then you next year they've got a divorce. Because no matter how well matched they are, there's always something to grumble about. There's always some lacuna. And that lacuna will be felt by us more the more you have. Do you find poor people complaining of discomfort or rich people complaining of discomfort? Poor people are lying on the sleep on the street. Their pillow is a stone. Their blanket is a leaf. They don't claim to be uncomfortable. But a rich person, how uncomfortable he claims he is. Now you say, oh, rich people are like that. Rich people are that. We are, that's us. If we were in that position, we would be exactly the same. We are in that position and we are exactly the same. We are complaining to the extent we have to. One does not love breathing to kill a mockingbird. One is not grateful for breath, and yet without breath you cannot live. Okay, who will read the next paragraph?
Ma'am, I can read. Ganesha. Something more or only this? And yet, tragically, no deprived person can believe that even when he gets his ardent desire, he could be no happier. Happiness is not about getting more, but acutely being aware of what is one receipt of.
Is this correct? Because my book has something quite different. You all have this?
No, the book has something different.
Yeah. Yes, this is what the book has. Ganesh, can you read this?
Don't our complaints tell us what is perfect with our lives? It's like an endless pyramid. The more things that go well, the more things we find
We
we
read
can.
that.
I read it, sorry.
Okay.
Then what happens? Sorry, what is happening here? This we've done.
Mahesh, the next one. And it is so easy for us to point the finger at others.
Yes. And then comes tragically.
Sorry, it's Omkar today. Mahesh has provided this to me.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
So somebody who has the book can read. Who has the book?
Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you read from here, Ganesh?
Which we did.
And it is so
And
easy.
okay. And it is so easy for us to point finger at others. We claim they are so sensitive. Who are we to judge others' pain or another's joy? Why compare? The princess couldn't sleep in the palace on the feathered bed because of the bee. Can we quantify her sorrow and say it's more or less sensitive without a palace or a feathered bed? Sorrow is sorrow. Only the wearer knows where the shoe pinches. Only the person knows how it hurts. It's so easy to believe that there are others more fortunate than us, but no one knows another's life or mind in its entirety. The most famous and wealthy are sometimes the most tormented. Sorrow's indiscriminate, uninvited guest who always overstays his welcome. He can visit anyone and no one, and no matter what they possess, is out of his way. Would it be too much to state that we are all sailing in the same boat? However much it may appear otherwise to the casual observer, the rich person is not doing that much better than the poor one, the married than the unmarried, the parents than the childless, the educated than the uneducated, or the managing director than the labor. The experience of life could be well of problems and stress. The only difference is the nature of the problem. Shall I stop here?
Oh, yes, that's fine. Thank you.
So, should I summarize, ma'am? Okay.
Okay. Why not?
Okay. No, this practice in this class, I think, because we don't
It's
read.
not the practice in the class, but
That's why.
if it's clear, then that's good, because if it's clear, then we can continue. These books are easier, right? Than Vedanta
Yes.
Chaitanya. Yeah. So what is the point of this paragraph? That we need not make a comparison between our sorrow and mother. Let us not say who is sorrowful and who is not sorrowful. We don't have to deny humans the right to their sorrow and the right to their joy. If a person claims he's unhappy, he's unhappy. If he claims he's happy, he is happy. Who am I to say whether he's happy or unhappy? Now, when you start looking at it like that, you begin to realize that all the variations and fluctuations of people's life, rich, poor, married, unmarried, child, no child, really are making no difference. A person could be in any one of those situations and be miserable, or could be in any one of those situations and be perfectly happy. So I hope you're following the line of thought. Remember what the line of thought is. To expand our awareness, we have to become aware of our receipts. When you start becoming aware of your receipts, you begin to realize that at all points you're being taken care of. All points. Even when you're miserable, when you feel you have nothing, you are being taken. In fact, because you are being taken care of so much, you are feeling the lack even more. So people are miserable in in superior lives. Superior means external situations are superior. So then now that will make all of us put our head up and say, oh, look at those people. They have so much, but they're grumbling. Not recognizing that that person is feeling unhappy, no? So who am I to stand in judgment to say he's not unhappy? The Americans are like that. The Brits are like that. Or the rich are like that. The poor are like that. I have no right to say this. If a person claims unhappiness, well, he is. Can you tell the princess who slept on that bed that no, she didn't sleep properly? She's saying, I didn't sleep properly. No, you slept properly. You were in a palace, you had 16 mattresses of feathers. You have slept properly. No, I haven't slept properly. Who are we to say? Then you realize, if you follow this, then you realize that everybody's in the same boat then. Whatever they've got, they're still in the same boat. What am I making of us about? But we can't believe it. Okay, now we can read the next paragraph.
Hariom ma'am, just one question. So this princess example is great. So this I'm not able to understand. There's nothing called genuine unhappiness. It is just that we have, and some lack is causing. It's
What do you
slightly
mean?
confusing.
No genuine unhappiness. So the person
No,
claims
I know happy,
happy, then he's unhappy.
unhappy. So okay, I'm finding it slightly tough to understand. The line of thought I understood. We have, and when something is amiss from that, what we have, we feel unhappy. So that's it.
We feel unhappy. And if we feel unhappy, then we are feeling unhappy. Nobody can debate that with us. No husband will understand. They tell their wives, why are you unhappy? Everything is so nice. But if I'm unhappy, why are you telling me it's so nice? The person is unhappy. So if somebody is unhappy, if you understand the person is unhappy, what will you do? You will be sympathetic. You say, okay, you're feeling bad. How sad. Did you ever tell a child, what is there to cry about? But the child is crying if the child is unhappy. Who are you to tell the child that no, there's nothing to be unhappy about? So similarly, you can't tell an adult. How can you say that? If a person claims sorrow, he's unhappy. Now your job is to be sympathetic. So simple. Right? Deepraj, you're listening. Only hope is for you because you can learn this before you get married. Otherwise, you will keep telling your wife, what is there to be unhappy about? We are living in this beautiful place. He lives in the east, the most beautiful part of our country. She'll say, no, I'm unhappy. I don't want to live in this most beautiful part. I want to go to that dirty, whatever, polluted Delhi. Can't argue, no? Imagine, we have Delhi in our country with an AQ of 400-500, God knows what it is. And you have Assam, where the, or Shillong and I don't know, all this Meghalaya and all. AQI must be what, 20 over there? What was it? The price?
No, it's not that good, but it's usually below 100.
Below 100.
Yeah.
We managed to mess up that area also. So, but whatever. But so now you want to live in 100 AQI or you want to live in 500 AQI? No, I will stay in 500 AQI. Then okay, you can say anything. Can anyone say anything? By the way, on the plot that day, Deepraj and I, we were trying to find out on the plot what is the AQI. You know what it is? At least that's what we found out from Google because that's the only way we currently have. You all can also look it up. What did we find? 60, 69, something like that, no? Nice, no? When we go there, we can breathe. Just breathe. Can you imagine? Suppose people start coming to the university only to breathe. What will be that condition? Everyone is coming. What have you come from? Are you're interested in Vedanta? No, I just came to breathe. Can I please come and breathe over here for a little while? Can you imagine that? It's quite possible. Eventually, that will be our condition. Anyway, so when a person.
Just one thing, I'm sorry. When your desire is not fulfilled, you're unhappy. But this is bringing another twist, no?
Why?
When you have this line of thought is very slightly confusing. I'm sorry.
Why? I mean, same thing. If your desire is interrupted, your desire is interrupted. Who is to tell you that your desire is not interrupted?
Then why are we we are saying that there is excess? We are blessed enough to feel unhappy, right? That's I'm not.
No, this is a matter of fact that the more you have, the more you will feel the lack. That's a matter of fact. See, every time you get something, remember the happiness formula. Every time you get something, every time the numerator rises, what happens to the denominator?
It also increases.
Also,
No. Okay.
every time you fulfill something, you get one more desire. Isn't it? So now you fulfill to a peak. But is that the end of the matter? No, you will see some more. It's like the headlights of the car. The further you go, the more it will show you. Like imagine. Tisha is in Canada, I think. No, Tisha, you're in Canada, no? Imagine people 100 years ago in Canada. They must be just very happy if they got some wood or something they could burn and keep themselves warm. Then after some time, the fireplaces went and then they got maybe electric fireplaces. I don't know. I'm making this up, okay? I haven't been to Canada, Tisha, so forgive me if I'm saying all wrong things. But finally, those wood fireplaces must have got replaced by, what is this? The electric one.
Okay. Electric heaters.
Right? All that work that must have gone in a wood fireplace. Can you imagine? Go chop the wood in the thing in the summer or in the winter, stock them up, put it there, move it, this thing, that thing. Oh, gas heater in the middle. Yes. Like UK used to have, this penny, they used to put that coin. Did Canada ever have that phase? You had to put that coin and then the electricity starts. Not there ever in Canada. Or
I don't know.
you know about it, okay. So many years ago. At least in the movies, you see those people putting the coin and then all the electricity comes on or the gas comes on, whatever it is. So, yes, correct, gas heater. So, from wood to gas to electricity. I mean, look at how comfortable it must have gone over a period of time, right? Do you think today the people in Canada are happy with their heating situation? There's always something more, right? Oh, my heater does this, but it doesn't do that. Always something. Oh, the price of the electricity is so high now. Always something. Okay, Ganesh, so the more you get, the more you can see.
I partly agree. I'll think over it because if heat it gets solved, whether it is a heater, I think a gas heater is way better than a fireplace, right? So maybe when the heater stops working, then you will feel the this thing, and you'll feel so.
It also begin to differentiate between heaters. Like I remember when I went to Dubai long ago, the guy who had this first time I'd experienced, then the seats were heated. So if I had a car and I didn't have a heater in the car, I would want a car with a heater. Now I have a car with a heater. Is that good enough for me? No, the seats, they're not heated seats. I sat down, it feels really good, from the cold, you sit down on a heated seat, it's really nice. Now, the next time you go and the it is not heated, you say, oh my God, not heated. Okay, we just wait till it becomes warm in the car. There's always, imagine, it's like a few seconds. Most common example is many, many years ago, we used to write a letter, handwrite it, go to the post office, post it. Then it would take a month to reach wherever it had to go. Then that person would receive it, then open it, then read it, then think about answering it, then answer it, then put it in his envelope, buy his stamps, which he has run out of. Then he has to go and buy stamps. Then he would post this thing. Then he'll come back to you. So 2 months. Now emails go in what? 1/20th of a second. But if it becomes slightly more than that, we say, oh, so slow. The more you have, the more you feel the light. Got it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, but I have to think this.
Okay, please think. Yes, Sartha.
Ma'am, but I have noticed that there are many people who are more or less satisfied in their life. I mean, the potential for sorrow exists for everyone. That is that in that particular point, you're completely right. But it's not that they want more. They're perfectly satisfied with what they have.
So, what's your point?
That it's not that a person is always wanting more, which you were saying something along those lines.
Something along those lines? No. It is not possible to get more and by that process become satisfied, is the point.
ये तो चैप्टर 1 में ही वो क्लियर कर दिया था.
Yeah, but now it's a little more explanation. How at every stage it seems so justified. Wouldn't it seem justified? Like you sat on a seat, it's ice cold. Now, what's so justified? No, it should be warm. And so comfortable if it is. Now, you all are not understanding because you don't understand winter. You go to a winter place, then you'll understand.
Ma'am, but
that
that dissatisfaction is the reason for all human development.
No, this is the fundamental error that people make. It is not dissatisfaction that is the cause of human development. All these jokers and Johnnies who are complaining, what development are they doing? The guys who developed it are those who have a discrimination to know that this can be done better. All the
But there
couples
was
are-
a need in the society, right? Let's say there was no light, then Edison said that, okay, there is no light, so let me do something about it.
Well, that's discrimination. That is not, he's not miserable that there's no light. It is discrimination that develops. All the grumblers, which grumbler ever does anything? Have you ever seen a grumbler and a complainer do anything? It is the guys who are not grumbling and complaining that do stuff. Have you seen Jayashree grumble and complain? She's going all over the place. One day she goes to Taloja. One day she goes to, what was the place? You're going to Sukheli. Places nobody has ever heard of. All you Mumbaikars, have you even heard of all these places? She is trudging off 2-hour journey, 3-hour journeys in some kind of horrible ways. She is not complaining. But others are complaining. Oh, so much work, so much work, so much work. No, sorry, nobody is complaining, but you can have. The complainers don't do anything.
Ma'am, but if there's a sensation of pain, any kind of pain, let's say I feel cold in my seat, or I'm driving a two-wheeler and feeling very cold because it's very cold outside, then if there's a sensation of pain, then what wrong is it to grumble a little, let's say?
No, Baba, you please grumble as much as you want. Nobody is telling you not to grumble. Why are you saying? We are sympathetic. We are saying that if anyone claims sorrow, it is their sorrow. We are not unsympathetic. Nobody is saying don't grumble. Feel free to grumble. But your solution to that grumbling may not be the solution you think it is.
Okay, that's clear now.
Okay. Yes, Bharat.
So, when it comes to another person's sorrow, you are sympathetic towards that person. But when it comes to your own sorrow, you are, you acknowledge it, you don't dismiss it, but you do those checks again of receipts and you get yourself in a happy state. Is that the way forward?
Yeah, same as you treat others, you treat yourself. No difference. You're sympathetic with your pain and you try to find a solution.
But you can't give that advice to anyone else, right? We just said that you can't be telling your grumbling wife that you are blessed with so many good things.
No, that's not what you tell her. You find a solution. If she's grumbling, Bharat, if she grumbles, this hypothetical wife of yours, and what is her grumbling? She's saying, my husband doesn't talk to me. So then you have to not say, be grateful, he's looking after you otherwise. You have to say something like, okay, why don't, please, let's sit down and talk. And then let her do the talking. Most people who grumble, Bharat, you should learn this. Most people who grumble that you aren't talking to me are not grumbling that you are not talking to me. They are grumbling that you are not listening to me. They don't want you to talk. They want to talk, you have to listen. So we figured that much out. That's your solution. And you, in your mind, think this is my debt of gratitude. My wife is so good to me and every other thing. This is my service to her. I have to sit and listen. Don't start yawning. Just listen quietly.
So for after how many hours should I stop her?
This you consider before you marry the lady, okay? You please bring her to us. We will give you our advice on how many hours this process will take. Bharat, you have the most worst case scenario. No, it won't take so long because eventually people get tired also. Bichara Bharat, he has got very frightened with this.
Thank God for that. Thank you.
Okay. Who will read the next part? Surekha, you had raised your hand sometime?
Yes, Janki ji, I had because I wanted to check how do you apply this to a person who's a perfectionist? Perfectionist also is not happy till everything is like, to the dot and tittle and all that. So how does one explain that? Because perfection is not a bad thing.
Nothing is a bad thing. It is only whether whatever you're searching for is achievable or not. So when you're saying how do you handle a perfectionist, if you refer to other people, you have to understand that you are never going to live up to them. And so you have to moderate your, moderate your expectations of how much they will praise you. Perfectionists cannot praise you. So you have to moderate that.
Right.
If
So-
you are
Is a perfectionist's quest for perfection also stemming from discomfort, lack, and things like that?
you can't really answer the question based on only this data. It could be an intellect able to understand that this is less than perfect, or it could be the mind chasing. So based on just the data you have given, it's something like asking a question: is every perfectionist an OCD patient? No. OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, where they can't do anything. They're incapacitated because they're so, if they want to keep it clean, then that's what is to be done, or whatever or not they are obsessive about. So based on the data you have given, we can't answer that question. It could be the intellect that's able to appreciate something or has a fine sense of discernment, or it could be the mind asking more. Now, that is the decision you'll have to take and then deal with it accordingly.
Right. Thank you, Jen.
Okay, who will read the next para? It's a very small one.
I can, ma'am.
Please.
If it's okay. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, Prashant is reading it.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Can I read, ma'am?
Yes, go ahead, Prashant.
The more we have, the more sensitive we are to lack.
No, we are at and yet tragically.
And yet tragically, no deprived
Oh,
person
I'm
can.
sorry, you're reading it from there. Okay, that is just quotes that has come. Now go ahead.
And yet tragically, no deprived person can believe that even when he gets his ardent desire, he could be no happier. Happiness is not about getting more, but being acutely aware of what one is currently in receipt of.
Can you imagine this? What a great tragedy of life. We are longing for something. If you're not married, you're longing to be married. If you are married, you're longing for a child, let us say. Let us not make pessimistic statements. So, longing, without recognizing that if you get that, it could be that you will be no happier. So it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. The only time you become happier is when you start becoming more grateful. There's a beautiful story in the Shastras about Ganesha. Ganesha went on Kubera. Kubera is the king of wealth. Okay, think of him like the chairman of all the banks in the world. He's the king of wealth. He's the lord of wealth. He's the god of wealth. He owns all the wealth in the world. So he invited Ganesha for a party. He said, "Please come to my. I'm having a festive occasion. Please come." So Ganesha came. You know our little Ganesha, nice rotten little fellow. He went to the festive occasion of Kubera. And Kubera served him food, obviously. And he kept serving him, and Ganesha kept eating everything. And finally, Ganesha finished all the food for all the guests. Kubera's feast, okay? Not an ordinary feast. Finished all the food, and then he was still hungry. Then he started eating all the decorations also. Then his father came and gave him some roasted rice. And the story goes that Ganesha's appetite was satiated. A silly story, it sounds like. What is this funny story? But that is what it's trying to say. That no matter what you give the mind, no matter what you give your desire, it will never be full. So when will it be fulfilled? When you get roasted rice from the Lord. Shiva, his father, gave him roasted rice. What is roasted rice? Something that will not germinate. So once you have the higher, from the higher, your desires go. That is when you feel satiated. Otherwise, you cannot feel it. It's not. So that's it for today.
Hari Om, ma'am, I have a quick question. It's quick. So last class, in one of the class, you mentioned that if you have unselfishness, you don't require other competencies. Unselfishness helps. Okay, I listened.
I don't know whether we went so far as to say you don't require other competencies. When you have unselfishness, whatever competencies you have, you will be able to use them all.
I just would like to take one example from your life, which you share. At 22, and after that you were there for 8 years in the academy, and after that you were on your own. So you had the unselfish desire to teach, but you had to have other competencies also, right? To manage uncertainty, so many things, because you were on your own, and this is not a line of work where you get quick funds. So there are other things also required, right, with unselfishness. But in your case, it said that unselfishness helps take care of all of those. So can you just throw some light on this?
Same thing. If you really are working for a cause, I don't know what to say actually.
So it's taken care of. Everything is taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, you will know how to handle other things.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like something descends on you from high heaven. It's become sort of clear what you need to do. If you're clear about where you want to get, it becomes very clear what you need to do.
Okay, because the goal is so very clear. Understood. Understood.
Okay, so that's it for today. I hope to see you all on 23rd January, which is Vasant Panchami, and the first event on the plot, Saraswati Vandana, and what puja we will do over there, among other events. So I hope to see you all there on 23rd Jan. Please save the date. Did we put a save the date announcement in the class groups?
Not yet.
Okay, so we will no doubt put it soon. Okay, so that's it for today. Hari Om.
Hari Om.